Okay, so I'm doing this video on preschool academic content standards. Now, a lot of you may not know what those are, so I got this off of the Ohio Department of Education website. Every state has one of these sites, and the information on them will probably be pretty similar, but they may be subtle differences between the states. But obviously I used Ohio because that's where we live. And I'll just read you from their website kind of what it says, just in case you guys aren't familiar with what they are. It says, academic content standards describe the knowledge and skills that students should attain, often called the what of what students should know and be able to do. They indicate the way of thinking, working, communicating, and reasoning and investigating and important and endearing ideas, concepts, issues, dilemmas, and knowledge essential to the discipline. And then it goes on, it says, how can I use the standards? And then for teachers, it says, you can use the standards and resources designed to support the standards to develop instruction and assessment. There is not a single method or procedure for this development, but the standard should be at the heart of this work. And then it goes on and it says how parents can use the standards, and it says, parents can use the standards to keep track of what their children are learning and to talk to teachers about their children's academic progress. So, me being an education major in college, we deal with this kind of stuff almost daily. So I'm really familiar with it, and I'm really comfortable using them and things like that. We have to use them when we write lesson plans for our field placements. A lot of times I will actually be in real classrooms and I have to write lesson plans and then teach those lesson plans that I've came up with. I actually have a placement this semester as well. We just haven't started with the placement yet, but I will be working with these and teaching lessons and writing lesson plans and all that good teacher fun stuff. But they're not just for teachers. Parents can also use these because they give you kind of a guideline what your students are going to be learning in that given year of school. So sometimes, like if they're doing a project or doing assignment that you might think is silly and stupid, almost all assignments and projects have a purpose, and if you have those standards, if you look at those standards online, then you can understand why the teacher is assigning what they're teaching, and also it can just help you help your children with their schoolwork and things like that. So I really highly suggest, no matter what age your child is, to be familiar with the standards that they're learning in that given school year. So you can find them online, but obviously since I have a toddler, I'm interested in the pre-K academic content standards. Now, a lot of these things are a little too hard for him right now. They're more aimed for 3- and 4-year-olds, but there are some good stuff in here that I can already start working with Jaden. Such as, he already knows all of his alphabet letters, and we're working on the phonics of those letters right now. We're learning counting and numbers and sorting and those kind of things he can do now. So I printed these out, and it looks like this. So this is all the stuff that a preschooler should be able to know and do before moving into kindergarten. So, for example, one of the first things on here, it says acquisition of vocabulary. It says what children know and can do at the end of the preschool years with adult guidance. They can use pictures to learn the meaning of words, recognize word signs and symbols in everyday life, such as the word school on the side of a bus, a street sign, symbols seen along the road, such as a deer crossing, etc. And then it says use words and group them in common categories, such as color words, food words, and direction words. Now, Jaden obviously can't really read yet, but he can do picture sorts. So a good thing to do for that specific thing would be maybe cutting out pictures of foods, like in magazines or something, and then cutting out or making colors, just coloring colors and then cutting them out, and then you can have them sort all the colors in one pile and then put the food in another pile. So sorting is a really good skill for them to have, and we already do a lot of sorting with Jaden. He's got his sorting bears and things like that. So a lot of these things can be modified for younger kids. Let me see if I can find another good example. Like hold a book right side up and turn pages from front to back and pretend to read words from left to right. Like he can already do that. Know the difference between pictures and print. I'm pretty sure he knows that. Identify favorite books. He can do that. You just show him the book and he knows what the title of it is. So not all of it's too hard. So there are things that we can be working on him with. Let's see if I can find something else. Show what he or she knows about writing by starting at the top of the page and scribbling or writing in horizontal lines from left to right, top to bottom. So it doesn't matter that he's not using real letters, but as long as he knows, you know, the basic setup for writing. And then it also has a page that looks kind of like this, and it says tips and activities. And it's things that you can work with your child. So this page says, read aloud to your child every day. Set aside time before or after dinner and time before bed. As you read, let your child hold the book and turn the pages. Move your fingers along under the words. Point to and talk about the pictures that go with the words. Pause while you read and ask your child what he or she thinks might happen next. Encourage him or her to ask questions about what is being read. Read rhymes to your child, such as brown bear, what do you see? I see a black cat looking at me. As you read, stop before a rhyming word and encourage your child to fill in the blank. Point out words that are a part of everyday life, such as words on billboards, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, cereal boxes, and street signs. So these are all things that we can be working with Jaden already with. And it goes on, it has a section for each subject, like its acquisition of vocabulary, reading process, and then it's writing, math, science. I mean, it has everything in here. Geography, and these are all preschool standards, and they have them for every grade. If your kid's older, then you can go look up whatever grade they're in, but they're really helpful, and I think that it's really important for children and for parents to know what their child should be learning. That way you can help them out at home and things like that. So I just wanted to show you guys this and let you know that that's a resource that is there that you can utilize, and if you have any questions, let me know, and I hope this was helpful.